What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into the Monday morning edition of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Peralt. You can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt. You get this podcast wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube now as we videotape and record and publish this podcast every single morning. We're always being brought to you by BetMGM. And if you're watching this and you're listening to this, I should say thank you because this sucks. I have been as cold as I have been in a while. And this is a perfect opportunity to talk about the ups and downs of sports gambling. And I know that a lot of you guys are new, okay? But this is how cold, and this wasn't even for the official record, okay? At the time of taping, we're now 0-7. Favorites in the NBA are 7-0 today after the plus 510 hit on Saturday night. And we're thinking, oh my goodness gracious. Sunday had been the most profitable day, up 31 units by the math. I think it was like mid last week when this math came out that Sunday, NBA dogs on Sunday barked the loudest. So we followed it. I followed it. A lot of you guys followed it. We thought, okay, let's just, all we need is like a 2-3 wins, right? And we're going to be up because it went 4-3. Dogs on Saturday went 4-3, right? Well, then the dogs on Sunday either went 1-7 or 0-8. 0-8. That's how bad I'm going. So I put a quarter unit on every single dog, and I lost it all. I lost both my college basketball bets yesterday. And Iowa fans were all over me, and rightfully so. Okay, that's fine. It's one game. I'm still fading you guys in March. I still don't think you're making a run. Maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong before, okay? It won't be the last time or the first time that I'm wrong about a basketball team. I don't like Fran McCaffrey. So maybe that's a little bit of a bias thing that gets in my way, but I don't like him. And Ohio State, as I said in the podcast, Iowa matched up much better with Ohio State than they did with Michigan. And Ohio State jacked way too many threes, and the team that hit their threes won the game. Iowa hit their threes. Ohio State did not. Iowa wins. Nice win for the Hawkeyes, okay? Snap that losing streak, and the Ohio State Buckeyes are reeling now with 3 consecutive losses. Not good. And then Michigan State went back to being a pumpkin. Both Duke against Louisville and now Michigan State against Maryland. They both went back to being a pumpkin, and now I think both of them are long shots to make the NCAA tournament coming up unless they win their conference tournament's automatic bid. So, not great. 0-2 day, down 1 unit officially. So we start the week down 1 unit. Tony Finau comes in 11th. Ugh, we had him in the top 10. Okay, this is how I'm running. Finau, top 10. Nope, comes in top 11. John Rahm played well on Sunday, but not nearly well enough to get into the top 10. So we go down a half a unit there. So we end the month of February on a really bad month, our bad streak. But we're into March. It's March 1st. Let's have some fun. We'll just keep firing, okay? That's what we do. We come back every morning and we smile and we go, you know what? This is for entertainment. We understand the ups and downs. We understand this is very hard, and that's why bankroll management is so very important. It's why I preach flat wagering, so we can absorb these body blows and not keel over. And look, you want to come at me for the picks? Go ahead, okay? But just remember, you're the one pressing buy. Always remember that. I always talk about this. This is a free podcast. Everything I do, my radio show, my podcast, my Twitter, everything is free. I never will charge you a single dollar for any of this. I put my neck on the line, and I put my money out there. And when I lose, I'm sad. When I'm winning, I'm happy, okay? It is far more fun to win than lose. But this is hard, okay? This isn't some Mexican-based website service telling you can, make money. You can quit your day job by following Matt Peralt, okay? That is not what we're doing here. So if you want to come on the Discord channel, and somebody did this last night, and they said I should be ashamed of myself for the picks I have made. Okay. Am I embarrassed by them? Of course I am. Am I mad at myself? Of course I am. But I told you 3 days ago I was smelling this. I said, I'm seeing a cold streak coming. Go back and roll the tape, okay? Listen to the podcast from 2 days ago, and I told you, I was like, I kind of see this. I feel this because I'm burned. I'm burned right now, and I'm hoping to get back into the swing of things, and I'm hoping that the conference tournaments get me back flowing, but college basketball and the NBA have been really, really hard. And then my hockey bets, which had been bailing my butt out, kind of went cold. And that's going to happen. You're going to have some regression. I was up like, I don't know, I was like 40-28 or something like that in hockey. So I was going to have a little bit of a cold stretch. I was due to cool off and have kind of a bad run. It's the ups and downs of sports gambling. If you don't get it, then this is not for you. I have bet now for 239 consecutive days for the Daily Juice. I have told you what my plays are. I have celebrated victories and I have cried losses. And you guys have faded me or played with me. Either or I'm okay with. If I'm really bad, fade me. I'm literally telling you going in that, hey, I'm not so sure about these picks. You may want to fade me. And if you faded both my college basketball bets last night, you won. And I'm happy for you if you do that. My job is to entertain you, to give you something to think about, to tell you what I am betting, and then you make your own decision. You decide whether to bet or not. So if you're mad at somebody, look in the mirror. That's the guy to be mad at. Don't come on and vent at me because I don't want to hear it, to be quite honest. Okay? Have some personal accountability for what you are doing. You are following a guy that you don't know, you haven't met me before, because hopefully you enjoy what I do and you enjoy the podcast. And I want you to be a part of our community. I do. But I also want you to understand that I'm going to lose. I've been honest from the get-go. I'm going to lose. And if you've been with us for a long time, you've seen bad months. January was bad. February wasn't that bad. I haven't done the math yet, but I think we wound up, a little bit up. But nothing great, okay? Nothing where we want to be. But we have a lot of time left. We have months to go. This is not a one-week thing. This is not me coming at you saying I'm going to make you a bunch of money and go and have some whale play. No. So does it hurt that I went 0-2, 1-3, and 0-3-1? Does that really hurt? Yeah. I've gotten one bet right in 3 days. That is brutal. I'm not going to run from that. I'm not running from my record. My record is what my record is. You guys do what you want with that information. But that's the idea. This podcast is to show you some unique, fun opportunities to hang out with some friends in the Discord channel when none of us can hang out with our friends in bars now. We have a virtual bar for you set up here to talk about sports gambling. And there's some really sharp people who hang out, some people that give out good picks, but some people have bad nights. And a lot of people have had bad nights the last couple of nights. And we can commiserate together. We can laugh together. We can celebrate together. And that's what's lacking in so many of our lives right now because of COVID and separation and just we don't have the same connections. I can't call one of my friends and say, hey, want to go watch the UFC fights? I can't call one of my friends and say, hey, want to go have lunch? Like, I can't do that. I haven't done that. So this podcast, the Discord channel, this is what has replaced that, at least for me. That's what's replaced this. And the bets and the plays and the picks, I mean, okay, they're important. I'm not saying they're not important. They are important. It's important to win. But as I told you in the very first start of this, 240 days ago or whatever, it was about building a community. It was about building like-minded people who want to bet, who want to have fun, who want to enjoy themselves, and are doing this for entertainment, okay? That's what we're doing here. We're doing this for entertainment. Nobody's making millions. No one's promising you to quit your day job. And you should only be betting with money you can lose, all right? When I have money in an account, it's already gone in my mind, all right? It's already gone. That's me buying fun. When I give a book money, I'm buying fun. That's what I'm doing. And if I actually get something back from it, that's incredible. A movie doesn't do that to me. When I go to a movie and I give them $20 to go to a movie, they don't say, hey, I'll double that money and give you 40 back. Or, hey, I'll give you 10 back. I'll give you your initial $20 and then 10 back on top of that. I don't get that back when I go to the movies. I don't get that back if I go to the mall. I don't get that back when there was malls. I mean, I don't get that back when I go do anything else. So, like, that's the fun of gambling, is that I'm paying for the entertainment and for the possibility of getting some money back. Like, if you look at it that way, you shouldn't be angry, okay? You shouldn't be mad. And if you're extending yourself too far, well, there are people who can help you, okay? I often say, if you get to an emotional breaking point, walk away. Walk away. And stop betting. And come back in a week. Come back in a month. Come back in a year. There will always be games to bet on. There will always be something else. But for a lot of us, the sun comes up, and it's a new day, And we have managed our bankrolls properly, and we know when to say when, and we know when it's time to get involved and when not. Okay? That's the game. That's why I say when I'm cold, I shrink, and I only bet a couple of bets a day. And I bet half a units because COVID's crazy, right? All the things we've talked about. So, again, sorry for the rant, but I think it's important just to kind of get into that a little bit to explain what's going on. All right, so today we have the Discord bet. You guys voted on the Discord channel for a wager. I'm actually going to bet a game, that same game, just a different bet inside that game. So we have 2 bets going on one NBA game tonight. I got a couple of you who have stood on tables for 2 bets today, one in hockey and one in college basketball, and I think it's worthy. It's actually all 3 of the bets that were made, that were up for the vote, are part of the Daily Juice. I'm only going to count 1 for the Discord, but all 3 are good plays, and 2 of them are plays I would have made anyway. So it's like, okay, fine, I would have made this bet anyway, so why don't, I'll just take it as a official play as well. So got 4 plays, half a unit, 2 units in play coming up here today. So real quick, the Giannis Antetokounmpo jersey, we will announce the winner coming up here, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, but stay tuned for that. I'll tell you who's going to win the Giannis Antetokounmpo jersey coming up as well. All right, so let's start with the Discord bet, okay? You guys had 3 options. Jazz minus 6.5, really it was 7, but 6.5. Oklahoma money line or Vegas Golden Knights money line. All right. So let's start with the winner. The winner was Jazz minus 6.5. Okay. So the Jazz are killing people, as we've talked about a lot here on this podcast. We've ridden the Jazz really well. The Jazz have been an absolute wagon. They've been a ton of fun to bet on. So they lost to Miami by 8. They turned right around on this 4-game road trip before they go to the All-Star break. They got 1 game after this left before the All-Star break, but they have just an obscene record against the spread. So they are 25-8-1 against the number. New Orleans tonight is where Utah is on the road. They are 14-19 and 14-19 against the spread. So you've got Orlando last night, or 2 nights ago. They won by 15. They covered that 9.5-point line. They have covered 3 of the last 4 games. Didn't cover against the Clippers like we've talked about. Then came back and won by 25 and 22 against Charlotte and the Lakers, beating Orlando. So you guys nominated minus 6.5 for the Utah Jazz. Like the pick. Money's coming in on New Orleans, though. So I got 6.5. You guys might get a better number by the time we wake up. Last game out for New Orleans, they lost on the road to San Antonio by 3 as 2.5-point favorites. They lost to Milwaukee by 4 the game before that as 8-point dogs. So they covered that 8-point line. So they've lost back-to-back games. They're now here at home against the best team in the NBA. And New Orleans doesn't play defense, like, at all. They play no defense whatsoever. So you guys are on minus 6.5. I am on over 235. So to the over, Utah is 17-16-1 to the over. But New Orleans is 23-10, the best team in the NBA, to the over. Their last game against San Antonio went under. That snapped an 11-game over streak for New Orleans. Great time to jump right back on here and go with the over 235 for New Orleans and Utah. Utah, the last 4 games for the Utah Jazz have gone over, including both games on this road trip so far for Utah. They went over by 20 points against Miami, went over by 11.5 points against Orlando. Those totals were 220 and 221.5. Okay, this is a 235. It's a big number, but against Milwaukee, New Orleans 242 went over by 12. Okay, so I mean they've covered 237s, they've covered 235s, they've covered 240s. I mean it's just stupid what they've been able to cover here this season for New Orleans. So 235. Yeah, it's high, but it's New Orleans, and it's a Utah Jazz team that plays really well and scores a lot of points. So Jazz minus 6.5. The Discord channel play, that is a 1-0 record so far, second time ever. So the listeners, you guys of the Daily Juice, voted on this. Jazz minus 6.5 against New Orleans. I am adding the Jazz and the Pelicans over at 235, both for a half a unit, both at minus 110 for 2 plays. So all eyes tonight on the Jazz and the Pelicans coming up tonight for this game. Number 3, Oklahoma State. Now, I was not going to play a college basketball game tonight. All right. I wasn't going to do it. And so this is a Bedlam game, and a bunch of you guys are in love with OU to bounce back here. They've lost 2 games in a row. They lost on the road at Kansas State in a shocker. Like, excuse me, what the hell happened to Oklahoma? Then they lost at home to Oklahoma State 94-90, where they just, you can't give a superstar like Cade a chance to go off, and they did. So here is an OU team losing 2 games in a row on the road for another Bedlam game at Okie State. Okie State has won 4 games in a row, and they've won 5 of 6. They beat Oklahoma, Texas Tech, Iowa State, and Kansas State. They've played very, very well down the stretch. And you could say, look out for Oklahoma State. But you guys convinced me that there's major value on Oklahoma, and there's OSU money coming in, and Oklahoma bounces back here to get a victory. I just bet the minus 110 on the money line. It's a pick. That's what I got. Oklahoma State at a pick, minus 110, half a unit. Going ahead and jumping on that and going to ride that and say, okay, we'll take Oklahoma on the money line to get a W. Fourth and final play tonight, the Golden Knights. And again, you want to fade all these bets. I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to be angry. I get it. I probably would fade all these bets too if I were you, given where we are and how things have gone. And you might say, Matt, I don't trust you at all. Sure, fade all these bets if you would like. But the Vegas Golden Knights are taking on the Minnesota Wild in the game of the night in the NHL. These are 2 teams who are right up against it, battling for position in the playoffs. Minnesota is 12-6 overall, 7-3 on the road. Vegas is 12-4-1, 8-2-1 at home. I got the Vegas Golden Knights on the money line at minus 140 here coming up tonight. These are the games that Vegas wins. These are the games that Vegas takes advantage of their home ice. And look, you got to be careful with this Wild team because they are red hot. I hate the whole, they're due to lose. But in a way, they are. They've won 6 straight games. Last time they won in overtime at home against Los Angeles 4-3. Game before that, night before that, they won 3-1. They've been playing a lot of hockey, and now they're on the road to the Vegas Golden Knights. And the Vegas Golden Knights are going to have fans in the stands for the first time ever, okay, of this year. There's going to be juice in the building, okay? You've got the Wild coming in. Vegas and the Wild are battling, and fans in T-Mobile Arena. I'm going to give the extra juice here to the Vegas Golden Knights at minus 140. I think it matters. I think fans in stands matter. Vegas got 25 points. Minnesota had 24 points. It's going to be a whale of a hockey game. Let's just take the Vegas Golden Knights to ride that energy the home crowd will bring. Minus 140 for the Vegas Golden Knights. All right, 4 plays going, 2 units in play. It can't get much worse, can it? As to where we are? Let's hope not. Again, I apologize, but this is what we do, okay? We get up, we keep going, we march forward, all right? What do shooters do? Shooters shoot. No matter how many times you miss, you just keep on firing, and that's what we're going to do. We're just going to keep on firing. Why? Because we believe in bankroll management, we believe in flat wagering, and we're able to absorb all of this and not be crushed because of an awful, awful night. I mean, my gosh, how do you go 0-8? How do favorites go 8-0? And we bet every single dog. I mean, you have to laugh, right? You have to laugh at this. It's so ridiculous. Plays are Jazz minus 6.5. Over Jazz and Pelicans 235. Oklahoma money line against Oklahoma State minus 110. And the Vegas Golden Knights on the money line at minus 140 are the plays for a Monday, March the 1st for the Daily Juice. My name is Matt Peralt. Follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt every morning. Even after horrific 3-day stretches, we are here with the Daily Juice podcast, being brought to you by BetMGM on BettingPros.com.